Professor James Tang, my colleagues and friends here. Thank you very much for taking your time out of a busy schedule to attend today's workshop. First of all, I would like to express our gratitude to the organizer and sponsor RGC, Professor James Tang, for their great support to the local self-financing degree sector. They really give us, the panel and the institution, a lot of support. Very happy to see many old friends and new friends here. Today, I will share two very specific aspects: the assessment process and panel's observations. Hope my sharing will be useful to both our new friends and old friends. So, just now, Professor James Tang mentioned in last year's exercise, we received roughly over 300 proposals. Make a guess, what is the exact number? Well, the exact number is 303. So in last year, we received 303 proposals. I would like to first introduce how the proposals were assessed. RGC and the panel, my colleagues here, assure you, your proposal and each proposal will go through a rigorous peer review process. Let's take the proposal we received last year as example. So what happened to the 303 proposals? So once the Secretariat received 303 proposals, the proposal first will went to 5 subject conveners. Let me introduce our 5 subject convener again, because they are very important person, VIP, real VIPs in this process. They are Professor Carlo Chen, he's the subject convener for business studies. Professor Chris Wang, he's the subject convener for biology and medicine. Professor Wilson Lu, he's the subject convener for engineering panel. And Professor Cecilia Chong, she's the subject convener for humanity and social sciences, as well as Professor Lai Han Chen, and he's the subject convener for physical science panel. So a proposal will first go to one of the 5 subject convener, and the subject convener will assign readers. The first reader will nominate external reviewers. Well, in principle, the first reader will assign or nominate 8 external reviewers. Don't be scared by the number. Well, you don't get all responses from the 8 reviewers. Sometimes 2 or 3 or 4 will come. Anyway, in principle, 8 reviewers will be contacted. So after we collect the feedback from the external reviewers, our first reader, second reader will have a deliberation. They will consider the external reviewers' comments and come up with the overall recommended ratings. In April, we will complete the assess. In general, in every August, the assessment panel will have the assessment panel meeting. The assessment panel consists of 5 subject conveners and all panel members. So in the assessment panel meeting, we will discuss all proposals. The panel will have a holistic review or examination of all the proposals before we make decisions. So once we make decisions, we will submit our decisions to the steering committee for endorsement. So you'll see who is the real boss. Professor James Tang is the real boss, because eventually the RGC have to approve our recommendation. By the way, I have to emphasize, I'm sorry, the decisions are final and no appeal is allowed unless there is a procedure irregularity. So thank you for your understanding. By the way, we really want to have more and more high-quality proposals. As Professor James Tang mentioned at the very beginning, over the years, we see the number of applications increased, but still, we still have some unspent monies. Guess how much RGC allocated to this sector for competitive scheme? RGC is really generous to this local self-financing degree sector. Every year, RGC actually allocates 100 million Hong Kong dollars to these three schemes. I will explain later. So the money is there. What we need your help and support is to come up with high quality proposal. So that will make our panels job much more easier. So today I will explain or introduce three schemes one by one. The first scheme I want to share is this faculty development scheme. This is a scheme which we received the largest number of applications. So for example, last year we received 303 proposals and 273 are FDS proposals. So a lot of numbers. So in evaluating the FDS proposals, we will look at the following criteria, including objective, research design, feasibility, innovativeness, as well as the research impact. Our panel members have do their due diligence. They will look at all the criteria, but I just want to say a few more words on the last criteria, research impact. Just now, our three speakers actually mentioned research impact. So what is research impact? How do we define research impact? Well, research impact goes beyond the traditional measure of academic success, such as publication counts and citations. Research impact also focuses on real-world benefits and effects the research can generate. Research impact can include multiple dimensions or aspects. For example, societal impact, economic impact, cultural impact, and academic impact. So it will be very helpful for our PIs in your proposal if you can articulate specifically your research, the proposal's research impact. For example, you may show the societal impact. You may say, okay, this proposal can really directly address some challenging social problems or improve the quality of life. Or you can see my proposal really can have this kind of economic impact. My research can create new technologies, can promote knowledge transfer. Or you can see my research has cultural impact. My research proposal can really strengthen or enhance our understanding of culture aspects, for example, diversity and inclusion. Or you can see my research have very strong academic impact. My research really filled a very significant research gap, and contribute to some niche areas, or contribute to the development of interdisciplinary areas. So all are examples of research impact. You can choose one or two or three areas to elaborate. And in general, the panel member or external reviewers will pay very strong attention to the research impact. Well, honestly, research is not a bean counting game. So we would like to see your research can generate some real-world effects. So that's something I want to highlight. I also want to mention that when the panel and external reviewers evaluate your proposal, academic quality is the primary criteria. We understand a lot of colleagues have heavy teaching load. We all understand. But when it comes to the proposal evaluation, academic quality would be the primary assessment criteria. I also want to share some of the panel's observations on our FDS proposal. So over the years, we see the quality of our FDS proposal has been improved, and we see the number of FDS proposal also increased. But somehow in last year, we observed some FDS proposals for humanities and social sciences lack strong argument for theoretical frameworks. The reason I want to mention this particular issue about the theoretical frameworks is because, bear in mind, the funding is for research project. It's not for consultancy project. What's the difference between consultancy project and research project? For consultancy project, we solve the problem, finished. But for research project, we have to provide theoretical contribution. So that's why theoretical framework is very, very important. So in your proposal, make sure you clearly identify proper theoretical framework or theoretical foundation to support your argument or your conceptual development, which is very important. For proposals from business study panels, we observed in general some proposals are able to address new business trends and issues, but some proposals fail to provide sound research methodologies. Having those ideas, research ideas, is very good. It's the first step of a successful proposal. But having a good idea is not enough or not sufficient. The panel and external reviewers want to see how you can realize your research objective. So that's why the research methodology is very important. So please do come up with a sound research methodology which can support the realization or implementation of your conceptual model. For proposals from biology and medicine panel, the panel observed some proposals are able to extend the scope and the method of study to international standard. However, as one of the speakers just mentioned, some proposals did not provide some justification for hiring senior research assistant. I just want to make one comment on this hiring of a senior research assistant. Well, the major purpose of this competitive research funding scheme is to help our institutions and individual faculty members to develop your research capacity, not develop the research capacity of the senior research associate or assistant, but primary goal. So we would like to see a very detailed plan to articulate how the research fund or funding help you, PI, to develop your own research capacity. Honestly, every year the panel spend a lot of time on the discussion of our issue. So we come to a common understanding. The panel really wants to encourage our PIs to make use of the fund to strengthen your own research capacity. And we will encourage you to involve even undergraduates into your research. So we are very mindful of hiring senior research RAs. Honestly, and at the end of the day, we, the panel, wants to see you are doing the majority of the work, not the senior RA do the work for you. So just bear in mind. For the proposals from the engineering panel, the panel observed some proposals involved a certain degree of AI, robotics, all those buzzwords. And the panel also observed some proposals lack a compelling research story. Well, it's good. We keep up with the trend. We study those very trendy or future topics, including AI. But we have to be able to demonstrate the substance. Having a buzzword is one thing. Having the substance is another thing. So our panel and external reviewers would like to see the content, not only a very interesting title. For the proposals from physical science field, the panel observed overall the quality of the proposal is satisfactory, but for some proposals, again, some proposals lack a very detailed or sound research methodology. So those are the areas we hope our PIs can make further improvement in the next round of exercise. So based on our panel's observations, we would like to offer some valuable tips to assist you in developing your research proposal. Based on our observations, successful proposals often have very specific and clear objectives. And oftentimes, they have well-articulated significance. The significance, research significance, including the impact I just mentioned. And we would expect the research proposal also provide detailed data collection and analysis plan, as well as appropriate research methodology. So all those excellent attributes are welcome, and we would like to see you demonstrate those attributes in your proposal. In addition, the panel would like to see a comprehensive implementation plan. And well, we all understand you are very busy. Sometimes you teach 2 or 3 courses. That's quite a lot. But we do hope you can spend some time to do your research, and we would like to see a very comprehensive implementation plan to convince our panel member and external reviewers you are able to deliver what you promised. And some additional tips for resubmissions. Please make sure you address the comments of the external reviewers one by one. That's very important. And please also proofread your proposal before you submit your proposal. So that is also something we would like to share with you. And the next item or the next tips I want to give to all of you is the budget planning. And our 3 speakers have already touched upon budget. I just want to reiterate the importance of appropriate budget. We really hope our PIs can provide sound justification for each requested item. We hope in our panel meeting, we can spend much time to discuss the academic quality of your proposal instead of the $1, $2, $3, $4 of your budget item. So please do help the panel by providing strong justifications for each requested item. And please avoid excessive budget request. This is also very important. We are kind of person, and my colleague here would agree with me. All the subject conveners and our external reviewers, as well as our panel members, are kind of colleagues. We want to support you, but please also be mindful of the budget request. Asking for a humble budget request would be something we would like to see. And the last item I want to mention, or the tips I want to mention, is the relief teacher. Fully understand this is a welcome item for all of you, but please do plan the teacher relief item with your request of supporting staff. The next scheme I want to introduce is this inter-institutional development scheme, which is called the IIDS. The objective of this IIDS scheme is to provide support to conference workshops for institutions or individual faculty members to develop your research capacity. So when evaluating this IIDS project, the panel and the external reviewers will look at 4 major criteria, including objectives, proposed research-related activities, feasibility, as well as the impacts. I just want to share some of the panel's observations on last year's IIDS projects. So in general, our panel observed the proposals are able to identify timely topics, and the proposals can provide organized plan for those conference, workshops, forums. And in some proposals, it provides the detailed name list of international renowned professors, so which is good. However, the panel also observed some proposals do not provide the explanation for conference outcome. Well, everybody likes fireworks, right? Everybody, right? We hope this IIDS proposal or project do not like fireworks. Say, sparks for 2 seconds, gone, right? We really hope this IIDS proposal projects can serve as seeds. We want to see the seeds grow up to the big trees. So please do provide the explanation for the outcome of the conference. It's not like, okay, 1 or 2 days conference forum, people come, people go, period. And the next scheme I want to introduce is institutional development scheme, which is called the IDS. For this particular scheme, we have 2 subcategories. One is for research grant, one is for research infrastructure grant, and another is for collaborative grant. For this IDSR, this is where the panel will see a large amount, because like Professor Low just mentioned, oftentimes for those IDSR proposals, the institutions would like to make use of their funding to establish some centers, research centers. So in evaluating those IDSR proposals, the panel will look at 4 very important criteria, including long-term impact and sustainability, expected deliverables, feasibility, as well as a financial arrangement. I want to highlight one aspect, that is the research direction. As I mentioned, the purpose of this IDSR grant is to help institutions to develop your research capacity in your strategic areas. So very important, when panel evaluate your research proposal, we'll look at your research directions. I think all of the institutions will have your strategic plan, right? Either a 5-year strategic plan or 2 or 3 year strategic plan or 10-year strategic plan. So when you develop this IDSR proposal, please do carefully review your strategic plan. Identify your strategic areas and try to link your proposal with your strategic plan. We would like to see a very clear articulation on the linkage between your strategic plan and the research direction you proposed in your proposal. So this is something I want to highlight. And of course, the panel also want to see some synergistic effects between this project and your previous or existing project, because oftentimes the IDSR grant involves a large amount, and we do hope the institutions can make best use of their resources. So it would be very helpful if you can demonstrate the proposed research center can have some synergistic effects with existing center you have in your institution. The last scheme I want to introduce is this IDSC research grant. So for this particular grant, we encourage the collaboration of faculty members either among institutions or within institution. So the major purpose is to promote collaboration, research collaboration. For this particular scheme, again, we will evaluate based on the 5 criteria, including academic merit, the goal, the synergy among participation researchers, visibility of the proposal, as well as research impact. For last year's proposal, our panel has this following observations. Some proposals have very innovative, interesting topic, and some proposals can identify important research questions, and some proposals are able to incorporate advanced technology into this proposal. Somehow, there are some room for further improvement. For example, some proposals fail to have demonstrators, fail to provide strong justifications on the requested budget, and some proposals do not provide sufficient information on the knowledge of project teams. Well, since this is a collaborative grant, we do want to see how the collaborative parties can come up with outcome, synergistic outcome. So that's why it is very important to demonstrate the knowledge of the participation project team. For example, research A from institution A can contribute in 1, 2, 3 areas. Research B from institution B can contribute to 3, 4, 5 areas. Together, this collaborative project can generate some synergistic effects. So those are the things we would like to see. So this comes to the end of my sharing. Thank you very much. And as I just mentioned, RGC is very generous to our local self-financing sector, degree sector, and we still have, in last year, we have some unspent funding. And in the coming round of exercise, we hope we can spend all of the funding supported by RGC, and the outcome will rely on your hard work. Thank you.